And we are back, and we just finished 1948's Every Girl Should Be Married with a runtime of 1 hour and 25 minutes. This isn't rated on IMDb other than to say that it's passed, but I'm assuming it's a G. There's nothing objectionable here.
No,
although the story is bananas.
It's an old film, yeah.
The story is nuts.
Yeah, there's no cursing, there's no nudity, there's no sexual innuendos or anything.
But there is psycholunacy throughout.
Yes. In fact, you could, I told you this before, but you could probably take the first half hour of this script and change the music, and it would be a horror movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm still shell-shocked by this watch. It's a good thing this was only 1 hour and 25 minutes because I'm still reeling from the watch experience. We caught this on the TCM app. It's going away, I think, tonight. So we squeezed it in, but it is to buy rent on Prime. And I'm sure if you do a Google search, you could find it for free somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably on YouTube for free or something.
Yeah. But, this is a doozy.
Yeah. According to the original trailer, ladies, this is a guide to how to trap your man.
Please don't do this.
Because apparently that's the only way anybody got married. They were trapped.
So according to IMDb, this is a willful woman concocts an elaborate scheme to trap a handsome pediatrician into marriage. That's basically the gist of the story.
Yeah, and she is not subtle.
She is not subtle. She is like a jackhammer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean, there were several points in this film where I just cringed hard. I was like, what am I? Even the children were like, what is going on?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on in this film?
My God.
Well, I mean, that was a brief synopsis of the film. Do you want to say anything in particular? Women, please don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, please
Maybe
don't do
this worked in 1948,
Maybe,
but
this will land you in prison.
Yes.
This will absolutely land you in prison. There's like a scene where she's talking with her best friend, and she has this guy's entire life laid out in books and folders all around her apartment. She knows all the restaurants he goes to, what he orders. She has the menus from the restaurant. She has everything ticked off with different colors. Oh, he likes this. He really likes this if it's in blue.
Yeah.
He knows when his patients are coming in, what his office hours are, when he goes to the club, when he goes to his barber. Every single detail about this guy's life, where he went to school, everything. And you're supposed to, I guess, find this charming and endearing.
But
it's just like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, her friend should have just been like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
What was her name in
the friend? Julie,
and she was...
And Betsy Drake was Anabel.
Yeah, she should have been like, Anabel,
girl,
you need some therapy. You need some medication. This is out of hand.
Yes.
And Cary Grant is just sort of like, he's just living his life, and she's just steamrolling it. And the way it all began is he was reaching for a magazine, and she was reaching for the same magazine.
And she looked up, and
she looked up, and there he was. Boom. She is just obsessed.
Can you blame her? I mean, it is Cary Grant. He is a handsome man.
Handsome dude, yeah.
But still, she was extra.
Oh my God.
She was way too extra. I was
and
like,
then,
what
and then,
are you doing?
And then she just like concocts some plan to like, well, if I'm going to get him, maybe if I make him jealous by pretending to date somebody who's even more wealthy and handsome. Mm-hmm. So she basically gets the owner of the company that she works for involved in this whole thing. Finds out his schedule, gets his table at the fancy restaurant, gets herself all dressed up just because she knows Cary Grant
borrows a dress from the
department store.
And and why was... You know what's so funny? I don't mean to cut you off, but why was it after that sequence when she's talking to the friend, to Julie, she's like, oh, if we pay $5 a week or something or a month, we'll have that dress paid off in X amount of months. I'm like, why is your friend like co-signing and paying? This is your mess. Like, why is your friend paying for this? Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean... Yeah, somehow she like ends up dragging the owner of the department store that she works into this whole thing, and somehow turning it into a big scandal for him, where now it's sort of like everybody thinks that they're engaged to be married or something.
Right, because that's what kissing.
And all of this is just an attempt to get Cary Grant jealous, and he still doesn't seem to have any interest at all.
No.
It's just so bizarre. And then somehow it all
worked out.
It all works out. Somehow she gets a house out of it, too. This is seriously like
the most insane story.
This would be a movie about some sort of manipulating psychopath who's just she's just arranging for people to die and stuff. That's what it would be today.
Yeah, there'd be like severed heads in the freezer in the basement.
There would be dead people. People would suddenly like wake up and their bank accounts are just drained. Suicides, everything. But no, this is a lighthearted, whimsical comedy about getting your man. And that was another thing. She like ruins this lecture he gives. He's like giving a lecture to all these like moms. And then any questions, she stands up and she's like, where do you get off trying to be a bachelor? How dare you want to have your own life? Why do you make us women go through all this trouble of trapping you men? If you would why do we have to wait for you to ask us out? We want to ask you out. And yeah, okay, that's a valid point. But, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
She's just losing. And then all the other women are just like standing up and they're like, yeah. And even the old bag.
For entrapment.
Even the old bag at the head of the crowd is just like, well, they're right, Cary Grant. We just didn't used to say it out loud like this, but she's 100% accurate. We had to trap all our husbands. Otherwise, men would want nothing to do with us. Oh, my God.
But then you had the Roger Sanford character who was basically like, I love women. I've been married 3 times. How about you and I get together?
So that's the choice.
Yeah.
You either trap an unwilling man or you get a guy who's just like, yeah, all right.
More than willing, but you're
more than willing, but eventually I'll dump you for somebody else. Oh, and that was another thing. Basically, the head of the department store drags her back to his apartment to the point where she has to like bash him in the head with a coal scuttle or something. And somehow it's like, I guess we won't fire you for that. It's like, oh, I guess.
She had a horseshoe up her ass.
She really did. It was so bizarre. You're lucky he didn't fire you.
Yeah. I
guess you should have just let him rape you.
Oh, my God. I feel like this is so crazy, even for 1948. Like, I know that this was supposed to be like a lighthearted romantic comedy, but I was just disturbed throughout most of it.
No, this really was crazy for even like an old slapstick or madcap comedy.
Like maybe, you know what? I could see this in the 70s. Like I could see something like this in the 70s, but 48, I'm like, I don't know.
I don't even know about that. Like I said, this script with a few minor tweaks in the direction, it could seriously be a horror film. Like
absolutely.
Like all the while I'm watching it, I'm thinking of that movie with like Carrie Elwes and Alicia Silverstone.
Yes,
Crush or whatever it was called. Yeah. I'm thinking of that movie because it felt like she was that obsessed with this
she
poor
really
guy.
Was.
She's like just encountering him on the street. She sees him on the street, and then she sees the head of the department store, and she's like walking next to him, pretending to be talking and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah,
and she's just like, "Kiss me."
Oh God! And then the end. The very end.
Oh my God!
When she has the preacher, and she's like, "Oh, I just wanted to be, I just wanted to be prepared." I'm like, "What?" And you were like, "There should be a Cary Grant sized hole on the side of that siding."
Seriously, run, bitch, run, run for your life and get some help.
Yeah, this movie was nuts. I mean, I'm glad I watched it.
It was a fun watch.
It was a fun watch.
But
parts of it were funny, but it was more cringy than it had. Oh my God.
Yeah, this film should have just been titled The Hot Mess because she was she was oh my God, she was so ridiculous. But I mean, her plan worked.
Yeah.
Everything worked out in the end, and like she even had like a double plan.
Right.
Like at the very end, you there's like I guess an added twist.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I mean, no spoilers. I mean, this movie is like a gajillion years old at this point. But like you said, that Eddie Albert wasn't going to be old Joe. And you were right.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming at all.
No.
Oh, careful.
Yeah. You got to edit this out, but when I adjusted my seat, I just crushed my nut. Oh. Getting old.
You okay?
Yeah. I'll be okay. What the hell are we talking about? Eddie Albert.
Yes, you said that's not old Joe, and you were right. I didn't see that coming. How did you figure that out?
When you saw how Cary Grant started reacting, I was like, oh, this is part of her plan. Because you could see that there was the two of them there. There was the head of the department store. I forgot what his name was. Roger. And then there's Madison there, Cary Grant. And Roger is just like, well, the best man won. Good going,
Good
whatever.
luck.
But he's off. Whereas Cary Grant's just sort of standing there, and you look at the expression on his face, and he's like, he sort of feels bad because he's like, I pushed her into this, and I don't think this is right for her. And
so now you know that he's in.
He's invested. He actually does care for her. She's gone from becoming a nuisance, a psychotic stalker, to I think you know what she knows how to make my martinis right. If that's not grounds for our marriage, then I don't know what is. So yeah, it just wouldn't have been a complete film if she just was, all right, I'm going off with old Joe.
So she was scheming till the very end.
Till the very end, her plan had layers.
Yeah.
Yeah, jealousy upon jealousy upon jealousy.
Crazy. She was always thinking. What was the thing that she said? The thing about
trapper.
She really was. There was a line in the film where she basically is like, "That's the thing about girls. Like, we can't like tap out. We have to just keep trying and making lemonade, I guess, out of lemons, kind of thing."
I don't know. She gave like this whole big speech in front of that crowd of ladies, and they were just like, "Yeah."
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That movie was just, I don't even know how to feel about it. I mean, I liked it, but I'm just like, as a feminist, as a woman, I'm horribly disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, was it like, I guess back then that was considered a feminist message.
It
like,
had to
like
be.
female empowerment, but
yes.
There's female empowerment and then there's just stalking.
Psycho lunacy, yeah. This was
psychotic level stalking. Like, seriously, that scene where that room is just covered with folders. She was like a step away from being Charlie Day in front of the wall with with the things, yeah.
String. Tying all the events together.
Tying everything, yeah.
Oh God.
It was like that close. Like, if that film was made today, that's what that scene would look like.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
she would just be in a tattered dress wearing a diaper because she just can't even bother
She'd never
to go
left
to
the house.
And her friend would just be like,
okay.
Anabel,
Anabel.
I think you're going too far. And then she would just look at her friend, and her friend would never be seen again for the rest of the movie.
And her name is Anabel, like the doll.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
She. Oh my gosh, this was so crazy. I mean, 1 to 10, what would you give this? I don't even know. I mean, I liked it, but I'm still just like also just deeply disturbed by the story.
Yeah, this is, I mean, if you go into this being, I guess, extra critical or something, or with a serious mindset, you're not going to really enjoy this film. If you go into it with more of like a Mystery Science 3000 sort of mentality, you'll enjoy the hell out of this movie because there's just so much
crazy.
Yeah, there's just so much bad shit flying everywhere. So in that light, I would give it a 7.
7. You're generous. I was only going to give it a 6. I think I'm still sticking with a 6 because I think that while it was funny and whatnot, again, I'm kind of disturbed by the messaging.
Well, that's the thing. You have to sort of
pretend
embrace that disturbance. Just like I too found it disturbing, but I was just like marveling at like this was made.
Yes.
This was. Somebody invested a lot of money into this movie and was like, this is just the most charming thing I've ever seen in my life. And nowadays, it's like, no, it isn't. It's like
It's horrific.
It's we're like I'm viewing it. It's something that you could view with today's mindset. Like, you know how like when they say, oh, you can't judge the past because you're viewing it with today's morality and mindset.
Sure.
Usually that's reserved for terrible things like like blackface or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just reprehensible things. This is just stupid.
Yeah.
It's it's just like this bizarre 1940s idea of, I guess, feminism.
I guess.
Yeah, it's just
This is
weird.
1948. World War II is already finished.
Yes.
And yet, this movie got me. I'm flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. I think I'm going to stick with my 6. It was funny. It was interesting. I'm glad I watched it. It was on my list of things to watch. It was going away. I think today is the last day. It's going to be on the TCM app. So if you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's available to buy, stream, or rent from somewhere else. It's a short film. It's an hour and 25 minutes, so it's not a huge investment on time. I, as a lover of cinema, wanted to cross this one off my list, but this was such a weird storytelling experience.
Very weird. Yeah.
And I feel like even if I was born in 1948, or not born in 1948, but alive in 1948 and having watched this, I still would have been weirded out by this.
Especially for a woman, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what are you supposed to think?
Maybe
that's it because I'm a guy. I just found it just so over the top ridiculous.
I did
too,
though.
Whereas I could see this kind of being insulting.
You know what? I think that's where I sit because I'm like, first of all, this is terrible messaging because you're basically encouraging people to indulge in this kind of behavior, and this isn't normal or cute. I mean, people get hurt, and people could potentially land in jail for hijinks like this.
Yeah.
So from that vantage point, I'm just like, no, thank you. But at the same time, something this batshit being made in 1948 is sort of impressive. Again, you've got like McCarthyism and like the virtues police kind of still patrolling. And so to have something this just far removed from reality being made is kind of interesting. But at the same time, it's like,
what was like, you'd figure if a movie like this was made, I'm guessing this was a popular theory.
I guess. I mean briefly on IMDb trivia, this was like a big movie for RKO Pictures. It did really well.
I mean, is that what people really believe, that the only way a guy would give up the bachelor life was if he was trapped?
Or bamboozled into it? I don't know.
It's so strange, yeah. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, it's just so weird. It's just so weird.
I know. It's like looking at another, like some sort of like, we're trying to like study Cro-Magnon man and figure out, why they did the things they did.
Oh my goodness, this came out on Christmas Day in 1948. I don't know. I'm just still.
Yeah, usually like romantic comedies, they're not as stalkerish as this.
Yes.
Even when it's like some guy who's in love with a girl from afar or something like that, there's usually some sort of mutual interest in the two that you see from the very start, or some sort of, or even if it's just like one of those, they bicker at each other, but they secretly are attracted.
Right.
This was, I mean, he was just completely disinterested in the beginning.
Yeah. But like, where did the switch flip for him? I'm still trying to figure that out, because when he was going to the house to basically tell her to
to back off.
Right. And then I don't know, because he saw that Roger guy there. I
don't know. It's so weird, but apparently it was all part of her master plan. So.
God, that's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's funny? You read about the actress herself, and like you see that she has like a master's in psychotherapy and stuff like that, and
she got out of her contract.
She got out of her contract for declaring herself insane, and she got Cary Grant to LSD.
Oh my god!
Just like
what is going on?
Like, did she like do that to the entire studio? Is that what was going on?
I don't know.
It's like Betsy Drake, just this like comic book supervillain. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
I wouldn't go out of my way to see this, but if you can find it, definitely check it out because it is nuts.
If you see it just playing on TCM, just stop and watch it and just sort of like bask in the insanity of it.
Yes, you won't be disappointed.
Laugh with your friends at it. Marvel at like, oh my God, this is kind of disturbing. Yet for audiences back then, it was, oh my God, she's just the cutest thing ever. It's I wish somebody was doing that to me.
Oh God, what a crazy thought. Yeah, and on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Please remember to like, follow, and share. And we will bid you all a
good night.
Good night.